Do you like to burn everything? Do you feel unsatisfied that everything is on fire? Well, here comes the Fire Mage. Let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Cypress and I'm gonna bring you the Fire Mage. I'm gonna show you some spells today. Just the basic spells, what mastery does for the Fire Mages and little things like that. And then we're gonna go into the good stuff. Honor talents, PvP talents, artifact weapon, and finally rotation and tips for you. Now let's get started with this. With the kind of the main spell that you have is gonna be Scorch Strike, Scorch, which is just a fast. You can use it while moving spell that does low kind of damage, but you can use it when you move, and you can proc your mastery, and you can also proc your hot streak. And I want to kind of show you what hot streak is first. So if you get 2 critical strikes in a row, you make your Pyroblast and Flame Strike instant cast, and cause to do double the normal ignite damage. That's gonna be your main damage dealing kind of thing. You want to have as much hot streaks as possible, which in turn is gonna put big ignites on the target, which is damage over fire damage over time. And that's kind of your thing, what you aim for to do all the time. So how do you proc this hot streak? So basically you need 2 critical strikes in a row. And one way to do it is to use the spells, obviously, but certain spells have guaranteed critical strikes, like Fire Blast. I wanted to show it to you in the spell book because mine is glyphed. I mean macroed, so it doesn't have the information, but this one does. So basically it's guaranteed critical strike on the target. It looks like that. You get this little like spell effects, which tells you that you have a hot streak. Now if I press it again, I'm gonna get a instant Pyroblast like that, and you can use your Pyroblast. That's one way to proc your hot streak. Another way is gonna be to just Scourge until you do get a hot streak, and then press Pyroblast to get the instant Pyroblast. So Fire Mage is not too complicated, but it has a little bit of things you can do to improve your gameplay. And if you play smart with the Fire Mage and know all the little things, you're gonna be pretty good at it. So most of the time you want to save your Fire Blast for example combustion, which makes you crit 100% of the time. So basically what happens is, for example, this is gonna be your burst. Let's say you get a hot streak, you press combustion, Pyroblast again, Fire Blast again, you get a Pyroblast, Fire Blast again, get another one. That's your talent, which is called Flame On, which gives you another stack of Fire Blasts, and you just Pyroblast in a row infinitely. It's pretty cool. Another spell is gonna be your actual Phoenix Flames, which is your artifact weapon. It gives you this talent, which is called Phoenix Flames, which also acts as a Fire Blast. So basically you have 2 Phoenix Flames, 3 actually, I believe it is, and then 2 or 3 Fire Blasts, depends on if you spec into it or not. I'm gonna show you later on the PvP talents where this is happening. But so you have 5 guaranteed or 6 guaranteed critical strikes, depends how you spec. So you can do a lot of pyroblast in a row. So basically you can do this also if you're running from somebody, you don't want a cast to be silenced. You do fire blast, phoenix flame, guarantee crit, pyroblast, fire blast, phoenix flame, pyroblast, you know, and you can go like that for a long time with flame on talent that I'm gonna show you as well. So I'm gonna go more into the rotation and everything later on, but I just wanted to show you the main kind of skills. So Phoenix Flames is your artifact weapon, huge part of a Fire Mage playstyle. Currently in the pre-patch, we do not have it, so Fire Mage is currently lacking a lot in the pre-patch. But as soon as the expansion hits, you're gonna get your artifact weapon, and you're gonna have Phoenix Flame, which is gonna make your rotation super smooth. So that's one way to guarantee critical strikes on a target, which procs Hot Streak. And that's how your spec kind of works. I also Scorch a lot, which gives you also a small buff to movement speed, but not small. If you stack 3, it's like 15% movement speed that you have all the time, plus proccing Hot Streak as well. It's pretty cool. If you're chasing somebody, if you want to run from somebody while casting, super useful. Flame Blast, once again, guaranteed crit. You have 2 or 3 stacks of it, depending how you spec. Guaranteed critical strikes, procs your Hot Streak. Flame On is a talent that you have. It's on a 45-second cooldown that gives you 2 charge of Fire Blast, more crits, more Hot Streaks. Pyroblast is your main ability that you do damage with. And I do recommend macroing it with stop casting macro. I'm going to show you in the rotation and tips video, or maybe a separate one, because Fire Mage is a bit complicated, but not too much. So you don't want to cast it ever, because it's a 4.3 second cast or something. I never cast this manually ever since I've played Fire Mage, and I've played it for what, 4 seasons now. So you never want to cast, you want to macro it. I'm going to show you the macro later on. Also, there is kind of like a little trick with Fire Blast macro. I'm going to show you as well in the rotation and tips. And what else do we have? Let's go over defensive and offensive abilities as well. So your kind of like DPS huge cooldown is Combustion, which makes you crit 100% of the time. And increasing your mastery, which just gives you bigger ignites, which is kind of cool. That's your kind of like offensive cooldown on 2 minutes. Another one is going to be Flame On, 45 seconds to charge the Fire Blast. You can use it in multiple situations. It doesn't have to be used just for combustion. Let's see. Let's go on defensive. That was about it on the offensive part. Defensive, you have Ice Block, of course, one of them, and then you have Shimmer, which is double blink, like this. You can double blink, and it also heals you with your artifact traits, which is pretty cool. And you have Ice Barrier, which comes with, I believe, every mage spec now. Absorbs damage. It's not bad. Later on you can do different things with Ice Barrier in the PvP talents I'm gonna show you. But that's about it. In defensives, you can count Frost Nova as defensive as well, of course you can, which freezes the target in place. It's just a staple mage talent from back in the day. It's always been there. one way or another. They during war they changed a little bit, but for the fire mage specifically, but you still had it. And spell steal. Now you may ask, how do you use spell steal as a defensive talent? Well, if there is a healer that is putting hearts on any target, you can steal them away and heal yourself. That's how you use spell steal as a defensive talent, if you didn't know. So combined with blink heal and some other talents that we're gonna go over, spell steal, you have pretty good survival and sustain. You just stay in the fight for a long time. It is possible for a fire mage. So in terms of let's get a little bit of like overview. In terms of spells, not too complicated. They removed a lot of spells, or they just gave you new ones, but it's pretty straightforward. You just crit a lot. You gotta crit a lot, and you do this by Phoenix Flaming, artifact weapon, and fire blasting, and in between you do Scorch on the move. If you want to do a little bit more damage and proc some other things I'm gonna show you, Fireball, and then Flame On and Combustion, your offensive talent. And in terms of defensive, Ice Block, Ice Barrier, Ice Nova, and Shimmer, which is your blink, double blink, plus heal, plus cloak of whatever it's called, this talent, Prismatic Cloak, which gives you dodge you can dodge any spell and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you later on. But that's your kind of like defensive and offensive and just basic spells that you have as a fire mage. Now in the next video we're gonna go over, of course, your just basic talents, and then we're gonna go another video for the honor talents, artifact weapon, and then as always we're gonna do rotation and tips, and I'm gonna include some useful macros that I found that are pretty good for fire mage that I'm gonna show you later on. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and like or sub or whatever you want to do. I'm not gonna force anybody. If you like this video, thanks for watching.